Hello and welcome to the Kind of Sort of Maybe Show. Thank you for joining us. My name's Jim.
Claudia. And Melinda.
And today we're going to talk about Prometheus? No.
Alien
Covenant. Yeah, Alien Covenant. Is that what it is?
I think so.
Okay,
There's no hyphens.
There's no hyphens. Yeah, so Alien Covenant, the follow-up to Prometheus, I would say, and the prequel to the Alien franchise. So yeah, in quotes. So what's your experience with Alien and this whole franchise? Have you seen Prometheus before?
I saw Prometheus and Pablo actually watched it the week leading to the premiere of the new one. And so I just, a lot of thoughts came back to the whole bacteria that got released. I thought it was a really original plot. It was something I had not seen before, or just the whole robot and all that stuff. It was pretty cool. So I was excited to see what they would do with this one.
So you like Prometheus, would you say?
6 out of 10 jelly donuts. But it was still interesting. But we went in there expecting a super scary movie because Pablo had read this review.
Oh, the marketing.
That it was the scariest alien movie.
Well, even the trailer.
The trailer looked pretty good.
We'll talk about that later, but that's what I walked into.
So have you seen the other Alien movies?
With Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah.
Yes, when I was little.
Okay. So all four of them probably in Spanish.
Alien!
Is that what they call them?
Alien Species.
Okay. How about you, Melinda?
I love Alien, and I recently rewatched Prometheus. I hadn't seen it since it was in 2012, I think.
I don't know how long ago.
I think it was 2012. I want to say it was 2012. I'm not sure. But I hadn't seen it since I saw it in theaters then. And when I initially watched it, I didn't hate it. I felt nothing for it. It was just like a regular Alien movie for me. And so that's why I didn't go back and rewatch it. But I rewatched it the day before. Was it the day before that I watched Covenant? And I really, really liked it. And I was telling you I think it was on Saturday that I don't know, past me didn't know anything.
Different mindset, right?
Different mindset, yeah. And so I really, really, really enjoyed it. And as far as the Alien franchise, because I love aliens. And yeah, I think I first watched them during... Because there's a ride. I don't know if it's in Disney World or if it's in Universal. Studios. Yeah. Maybe in Universal.
It's probably Universal, yeah.
I think it's there. And so there's a ride when you go into all these 80s film. It's a behind the scenes of movies. And that's one of the movies there. And I was intrigued. And so I went and I watched the series. But yes, I love aliens.
Cool. Yeah, same here. I've always been a fan of Aliens. When I was younger was my favorite. More recently, I really respect the movie Alien, the original. And as far as Prometheus, I really liked it when I saw it. I saw it by myself in a theater. Nobody was there, and it was in the big theater. By myself. Keyword.
What is
that?
Okay.
But it was one of those things where the movie was out. I'm like, I'm going to go check this movie out. Hopefully I can get tickets for it. And I was the only one in theater. And I was there, and a huge screen, beautiful movie. So I love the way Prometheus looks. And I really like the whole engineer story. And I came out of that movie, I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I liked it was tense. There were scenes in there that where she had the surgery done by that machine to take the alien out of her body. It was just really cool stuff that I liked. And it probably could have done okay without, to be honest with you, with this new movie, Alien Covenant. Now, what did you think about... Did you see any of the pre-marketing of Alien Covenant? I know there's a lot of social media stuff.
I was the one who showed, I don't know if you guys recall, but I was the one that showed you guys the initial poster for it months and months and months ago.
I remember that. You said it to us.
I was so excited because I follow alien movies. I've watched every Alien, not just in this franchise, just anything that has to do with aliens, I am on top of it. And when I saw that, I got so excited. And just even the poster, that alien looks so beautiful. It was such a pretty alien. And just every trailer, the marketing for it, I thought they did try to make it look super, super scary. But actually watching the film, there were not enough aliens. I wanted more. There's 2 scenes with aliens. There's nothing. And I wanted more aliens. It was more about the people and David. But
it's his story.
I wanted aliens. That's what I paid. That's what I wanted to see.
How about you, Claudia? What did you initially think?
I was intrigued by the beginning of the movie, like the whole scene where he's with his creator, and I'm like, okay, I'm curious to see where this is going. I felt it was a little long, but I'm with you, like, there was not enough aliens. I felt like they were just like James Franco. They were cameos in the movie, like super brief, and I'm like, okay, so is this about aliens or is this about creation? As an English person and loving archetypes and all that stuff, I really loved like all the things that you could really like interpret from the movie based on the different things. You know, you had a lot of different archetypes
themes
going on, and themes,
yeah.
and I was like thinking about all those
God,
things.
finding their creator, things
so
like
that's
that.
the way I found myself throughout the movie, like trying to find the meaning of it, and not so much where, okay, is this an alien movie? Like, it was one of those things where I was trying to figure it out throughout the movie, where instead of like, okay, this is a simple plot, let me watch it, and when are the aliens gonna come out?
So sometimes, like, this was a very complex plot. I think it was like 2 movies into one. So like you had the David stuff, which is really interesting, like the whole AI thing, meeting your creator and then surpassing your creator. I mean, there's a line in there when I think Walter talks about, you met, our creator, and he says, yeah, how was he? He was a human, like nothing.
He
like
was underwhelming, or
he was
what
underwhelming, and he was a human, like pretty much he's just like one of those. So the creation was higher than the creator, so and he met his God, and his God was not impressive. So, and that's the whole point. I think in Prometheus, I think Shaw and their crew, they were out there looking for the creator, the reason for life, and they found the engineers, and which were those bald big people, and they're the ones that created life. They're pretty much our God in that universe, the gods, so they created life. But here they had all those complex themes, but I agree, there wasn't, I to be honest with you, and I know why it was called an alien movie. It's for the name, right? Like, we got to get people like Prometheus.
For the franchise. It should have been like David Covenant, like,
or
it
just
was,
Covenant,
or just David.
Prometheus
that's all
too.
it was.
It was David.
Just David.
Yeah, but the name, like Prometheus, for a long time, and I think we talked about a little bit about this. We weren't sure if it was gonna lead into the alien. It's very similar, and I'm trying to remember, and I think I remember they didn't really, like, none of the creatures in there had similar themes to Alien. You saw the ship that looks like the one that's in the Alien movie, Alien 1 and Aliens. The engineer, of course. So very loosely tied together, maybe. But you remember that shot at the end where it burst from him? Like toward the end, it's like,
when you
okay, this
realize
is
when this, like a creature looking
like with the little mouth, the separation and stuff at the end of Prometheus. So that was really cool. And like with this one, I mean, they put Alien in there, and they kind of, it seemed like the executives, like, all right, you know what, we got to make money with this. Well, of course, money making is the whole point, but bring what people like. People like that. And they kind of shoehorned them in, right? Is that the term? They kind of just put them in there. So you felt there should have been more? Like the plot should have been that?
I just want to see aliens. I want to see aliens just like talking to each other and just making more alien babies and just aliens. And that wasn't the case. It was I mean, 90% of this was humans talking and not enough aliens. And we didn't even get like the scary, like, jump scares or anything like that with aliens, just aliens interacting with each other. We got none of that. It was just it was just a bonus. Like you said, it was a cameo of the aliens, and like it wasn't marketed like that at all. When you see the trailers, you see the very we already said it's gonna be spoilers, right? The very end when she jumps on the ship when they're about to fly away, that is 90% of the trailer.
I think cracking
that's
into
that's what the trailer is. So that's what I was expecting throughout the entire film, and it was not like. I think she came out the last 10 minutes of the movie. Yeah, she needed to come out more. It's
a female in your vision.
She has babies.
Well, that wasn't the queen though.
I know, but she has babies. She was watching over them, and I think the guy would be off like
like asleep or something.
Like,
Pablo
like, go kill them.
I mean, he also thought it was weird. James Franco. He's like, why have James Franco in the movie if he's not even gonna come out?
Like, they had filmed other stuff and they didn't include it.
Yes. So also that's why I mentioned the social media stuff. If you had seen it, and I want to go back to see it because I kind of didn't want to get spoiled on it. They had crew videos of like, hey, we're here, and they're drinking and just chatting. So James Franco was a part of that.
And they cut him off.
Well, no, it was meant, I think, for marketing and social media. So it was kind of like, here's additional content. Yeah, additional content for this movie. I mean, he's a star, but I don't think he's like a big drawing power for you to watch this. I mean, Alien is the thing that draws you. But I was kind of surprised because I didn't remember him from the marketing. I think I might have seen him a long time ago, and I didn't catch up with it. So I want to go back and watch all those little clips because of crew interaction. And that's one thing I did like, the whole sci-fi element. Like, this was a sci-fi movie, you know, straight up. They're going to a different planet. You had the whole religion versus science thing. The captain, he had his religion, right? And his family, his wife.
That was a weird thing with this one, is that everyone in the main crew was married. What? That is absurd. Real scientists would not allow that because it would cloud your judgment in cases of what they were doing. So he was willing to put 2,000 people
at risk.
How many people were in the thing? 2,000 people?
Yeah.
He was willing to put all of them at risk so he can go save his wife.
Yeah.
And if they were making this like a legit mission, they would not put married people in the same
to compromise.
It would compromise. It would cloud your judgment. Of course, you'd put your significant other ahead of everyone else, and you saw that time after time after time in this movie, and it was ridiculous. Like, everyone was married to each other. That's so absurd to me.
So I think in the leadership that was a little weird. Like, at least have one of the, I mean, maybe that was the whole thing because they were a colony ship. Like, the whole purpose was to go out, explore, and recolonize and have families and babies or whatever, right? But it is like a conflict of interest. It doesn't seem smart to have like everybody on the leadership crew be
they were all married
couples.
to each other.
I mean, at least have like a couple in cryo and not everybody woke up. Only essential personnel woke up.
Because that's what happened in Prometheus, right? Shaw's
weird. That
significant other was burned to death. Is that what happened in Prometheus?
No, that happened in
or was
Covenant.
it in this one?
Yeah, it was in this one.
Oh, it was James Franco who was the one who burned.
And I didn't even recognize him as James Franco when he was gonna.
Dude, that was so crazy to me that they honestly because I know that I saw the promos like before that, but he's an expensive actor, and I'm sure they shelled out a lot of money so he can have like 4 lines in this film.
That's what Pablo said. Like, why kill him off? Like, you want him in your movie.
Maybe because it's an expectation, and I kind of wrote that here in my notes, that it played with it had several characters that were possible protagonists. Like, you didn't find out who the main character was because they were pushing that captain as a main character in his faith.
No, I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, because James Franco, let's say if James Franco's in that movie. I knew that it was going to
be, what's her name? What's her
that
name?
Lady?
Danielle.
Yeah.
Daniels.
Yeah.
I knew she was going to be the protagonist since she started like confronting the new captain or whatever.
Where she's like noted.
Orlin? What's his name?
I don't remember.
Orlin. It starts with
the religious guy. Religious
that's all
captain.
you're going to call him? That's what he wanted not to be known as, and that's what you're calling him?
He was the archetype. That was his archetype. Like, that was his character. His faith was what drove him. So I think, so I didn't know. Like, they could have, for example, you're like, James Franco's in the movie. Cool. Excuse me. He's going to be the main character. And then, he died in the first minute or whatever, how long in the movie. It plays to your expectations, that somebody's going to be safe. And then all of a sudden, I mean, they could have had like another death, like if he was just standing there and then he blew up all of a sudden. But he had no lines, I think, right, in the movie at all.
No, it was just recorded stuff.
Yeah. And it is interesting that only the leadership woke up. Like,
no, that would make
that.
Sense.
Well, Mother was the one who
woke
them up.
The leadership, because they needed help, right?
Not David. Walter
was the one awake. It was the solar cells that kind of busted, right?
The what?
The cells.
Right. So Mother told Walter what was happening, and he said emergency
procedures, whatever it is,
whatever the crew. So he was the one that woke the crew up.
I missed that part.
Yeah, so I mean, that makes sense. If they're all engineers, they have one's a pilot, they all have their purpose, but it could cloud your judgment. I agree with that. So that's probably like a little writing plot hole. You wouldn't do that. Like, your wife would still be asleep or something, Yeah. And then unless you wake them up yourself or something.
But like, about the captain's faith, do you really? It was more like a spoken thing, because in his actions, he didn't really come off as a man of faith, I would say. Like when the person died, right? The Jenny's husband died. Instead of, let's all get together and, honor that he died or like give him like a proper goodbye. No, he completely had them fix the ship first.
Because
ignore it.
I think he was being responsible.
Leadership, yeah, but
no, I think he wanted to show his power. He just wanted to show his power because when they did do it, he was talking to his wife about it, and he was saying like they disobeyed a direct order. I'm like, dude, calm down. Like they're giving him a drink
or whatever.
Like,
because they liked him. They liked the captain, and that's where I did see not that one, but the previous captain, which is James Franco. So they showed a little bit like with the photo and the video where he was rock climbing, very adventurous and that kind of character. So you kind of get that through those little vignettes, I guess. Yeah. But with that captain at first, like that choice right there is like, hey, he did make sense. We need to fix the ship before, or else we're going to lose those 2,000 people. So I understand that. But then, you could say that he wanted to like put his fist down and show them they don't respect me. So he needs to, but I mean, no consequence came from what.
But I mean, and they needed to have that like religious because Elizabeth Shaw was the one and the other one, and even not so religious. She just had her cross that she carried with her the entire time, and David was the one that kept asking like, even after all this, you're still, you still believe. Like, when
she found out, hey,
it was for nothing.
Yeah, these people engineered us. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they needed to have that religious person, and that's why I think they just dumped it on the
new captain.
What's his name? Orlin?
New captain.
That starts with an O. Captain O.
Captain O. Yeah. So, how about the other characters? Did you have any attachment to any of them? Did you like any of them or dislike?
Walter.
Did you feel anything? Walter was great.
And
David.
The aliens.
David was cool.
That were the little ones that we got.
Wasn't it cool how Walter was a big part of this movie? I'm blanking on his name. I forgot his name.
I want to mention
I was like John Malkovich.
Super awkward part that I still don't understand is that why did David make out with his brother Walter?
Oh yeah.
That was weird. So weird.
Because he broke away. He didn't have to follow these protocols that he was designed to do. And he does what he wants.
No, but that meant, like, because he didn't even know what he was doing. I know that he was trying to kill him or whatever, but, like, it came out of nowhere. Like, just this.
It was very
And then,
creepy.
like, when he was sexually assaulting Daniels, like, what? It came out of nowhere.
When did that happen?
What?
When he, like, started, like, he forced her down and tried to make out with her. And he's like, is this how you do it?
Is that what he said?
Oh,
yes.
I don't remember that part.
Yes, he threw her on the table and he forced her down and he kissed her. And then he's like, is this how you do it? Am I doing it?
I don't remember
that. Yeah, he's
part.
like, am I doing it right? And then that's when Walter comes in and they start their fight. But, like...
Curiosity, probably.
Where did it... Like, I know that there were different...
Generation.
What was it? How were they wording it?
So he's like he's a different model.
Different model.
Yeah, because
we've
Walter
upgraded since you're supposed to be dead. We've upgraded.
Yeah, because he would heal like himself. Like they're more durable, probably stronger. They can heal, that whole thing. So that was really cool way to show it. And of course, they show the audience the Walter can heal, and then later on you're seeing one not heal, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, I really liked Walter. I loved the acting of the actor, which is John McAvoy. No. John Malkovich. No.
I forgot his name.
Michael Fassbender. Yeah, Magneto. Yes. So.
Young Magneto.
Huh?
Young Magneto.
Young Magneto. You think so? Oh, okay. Yeah. Young Magneto.
Younger than. I'm also forgetting.
Sir Ian McKellen. Is that him? Yes.
McKellen or
Gandalf?
McKellar? What's his name?
McKellen, yeah. So you have Michael Fassbender, great in both roles, dual roles, and even acted along himself, and made out with himself. So, I mean, very interesting stuff. I mean, there's a certain part, I get what they're showing, but again, it seemed like it was a different movie. This whole thing about AI, or if you're gonna do that, don't put the aliens in there, and probably don't use the alien name.
Wasted an alien.
Yeah, don't use the alien name,
because who's gonna want to watch Alien after this if there's another one?
I think a lot of people will.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I'll probably be there also on the first date, but like still, like.
So what was really cool about this whole movie, and one thing I did like, to an extent, was how he had it was pretty sad how he experimented on Shaw. And
he loved.
Yeah, who he loved, but he really, I mean, he was more curious and what she was like exploded, right?
Yeah.
She like chest bursted also, on one of his experiments. So was that? Well, they didn't even show. Was that a queen maybe that exploded from her body?
Oh, I don't know.
Is that maybe where he got the eggs from? Because they have to come from somewhere.
Because David talked about how.
Because
Who
she was like
confronted-
completely exploded.
who-
Oops.
Who confronted David about Daniels confronted David about him killing her,
Yeah,
right? It was
yeah.
it was,
Well, they
was it
found her
Daniels?
body.
It was Daniels
Yeah.
though, right?
Mhm.
So I think he said something about like I needed someone who was strong enough to do it or something like that. So I think so. I think
Because she wasn't a normal like chest bursted. It was kind of
it
spread
was all
out, right?
open.
So I'm thinking that it was a alien queen possibly that came from her body, and is probably on that planet because they didn't destroy the planet or anything, and the ship's still there. So that'd be kind of cool, and that's where you get that one. Maybe, possibly, they didn't allude to it or anything. We didn't hear, we didn't see anything, but the eggs have to come from somewhere. So it's possible that there's an alien queen, and he just brought some eggs there, unless he created them somehow. But they don't explain how that happens.
That Captain O,
A dummy.
he's so dumb. He's a little dum. David's like, look at these eggs. They've been
They're so
waiting for
beautiful.
something, and then they open up, and he's like, it's okay, let me see.
You know,
What is wrong with you?
to be fair, that's what everybody in every alien movie does.
I know, but
Because they're like, what?
they're
It's moving.
getting
What is that?
dumber and dumber.
It does. Yeah. But so you have all that happen. You know, you have the captain. There's some cool stuff okay, we didn't talk about the beginning, the spores that go out
interesting.
and go in the ear, right? And like think through the skin and all this stuff. So how they would get sick. I thought it was pretty crazy how quickly this little thing
It
was
was
formed.
real fast.
Even on the standard, like in the other movies, it takes a while.
Yeah.
I mean, they have like liberties with that, but in this one, you had the little, I guess they were back bursters or whatever, and like just come out of the back. And they were like, imagine a baby is like super weak, right? A human baby, but these are ready to kill.
Yeah.
Like they were like super fast and agile.
It was like
That
that in
was-
Prometheus also, no?
It was like that squid monster
the
though,
one that she
cut out of her
put
stomach.
out of her stomach, like it was in the little claw man,
Uh-huh.
and it was just like.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I guess, like a face hugger. I guess that energy of a face hugger or something. It's because that's, I guess, an infant too. But I thought that was a cool design. Those little white
The albino aliens.
Yeah, the albino ones, little tiny ones, and shredding people. Were you freaking out with that?
Cute.
They were cute. You hold them?
The one scene, oh man, I thought it was so good. Was when what's her name when she was like showering when they were already in David's lair.
Oh, yeah.
And that alien just like bites her neck off
Yeah.
or whatever. I thought that looked really cool.
Yeah,
Like
they-
they were when she was in the shower with her
Not with the guy.
No, that, oh man, that scene was so dumb.
unnecessary.
There was an emergency. I have so many questions with Mother. First of all, she's a dumb alien or some
A
dumb.
dumb AI.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. So I want to know how she didn't realize or how she didn't mention that David wasn't
the same
David.
model. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know how she didn't detect that there was a foreign object. I want to know how when she did finally realize that there was, and I think Daniel said, tell that side or wherever the alien is, how she didn't lower the music, and like, how is that not an emergency?
Sure.
What is
Or,
wrong?
like,
I don't
blaze the
understand.
alarms or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, like why isn't everything like blinking red,
and, like,
or
warning,
turn down the
warning.
music and say, emergency, blah blah, go to your nearest.
It's like, okay, Google. Like even our like Google
So
or
when you,
iPhones can do it.
exactly,
Yeah.
it was so dumb. Oh man. Okay, what was it? What were we talking about before that?
Oh, when it
Oh
clawed off
yeah,
her
so
back,
that do you know that scene
trying
when
to
she
remember.
got cut here, and so she was like
washing off.
washing off, and then she heard like the noise of the alien. She turns around, standing
He's
so
up on the
tall,
top.
and he's just staring, or she or he, whatever, is just staring at her. And like,
Oh,
dude,
It's
that
just
was
floating in the water.
that was such a good. I love that.
Oh
scene.
yes,
That
at
girl.
the end.
But that like
girl.
it was
Good.
just so close because you hadn't seen that angle before, where like it was her like looking up, and it was like, oh, it was so good.
So one thing I did like, and it felt like a sci-fi movie for me. So it was sci-fi. They were exploring this new planet. They were walking around, with, like this whole people with guns and checking out the ship, which was really cool, and going around all these places. I really like that. And then especially, so then the guy gets infected. They go into the ship, And the whole thing, it's like, dude, you can save her. And I guess she was following quarantine procedures, but then she comes back to like, maybe I should open it, and then not. She was real dumb.
She was real dumb because in Prometheus, when someone got infected, Shaw's husband or boyfriend or whatever he was, when he got infected, she came out with a freaking torch blower and's like, you're not going to come on our ship. You're infected. Yeah. And then he's like, I'm going to keep walking. She keeps walking and she torches him. Like, duh, do that. Like, why are you letting this infected person from this unidentified? Also, why weren't they wearing helmets?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. You're on this new planet. You haven't done any tests, like, well, we have breathable
I know
air.
that they said like, oh, it has more oxygen or whatever than Earth. I don't know what they said, but like,
doesn't matter. Test it. I mean, like any explorer would be taking precautions. Hey, don't drink the water. We don't know if the water is water. Like pathogens, unknown things. This is a alien planet. Wear your headgear. Still.
It's really dumb.
Yeah. So little plot holes like that. But I guess for the plot, I think they did it in Prometheus also, right? Like there was toxic.
Well, they at least got out with their helmets, and then when they went into the pyramid.
Which they
Shaw's boyfriend tested
it.
He's like, it has better levels than Earth.
Yeah.
So he took it out, and then he was breathing.
Like
it feels so good, and then everyone took it off after that. Yeah. But
it's kind of dumb, right? Not following procedure, I guess.
They're scientists.
They're supposed
real
to
dumb
be
scientists.
So did these seem like your scientists, or did this seem like your work, your blue collared? Because not all of them were. Like one or two were. Like his wife was a
geologist.
Or. Is that what she was, a geologist?
Well, she said that she was going to take geology samples, or she was going to
like
not geology.
I can't remember.
I don't know
the
that
science.
branch of science.
Yeah.
But like Earth's
ecology, right?
Yeah. That she was going to take those samples and stuff. So I imagine that a lot of them were. I mean, like in the military, like still they were supposed to be professional.
Yeah,
like,
and like you had your muscle. Some of those guys with their guns were their muscle.
That's understood. You need that because in the first one, they're like, we're not going to take guns to this planet.
Really?
Take guns.
You don't know
like,
what's there.
You don't know.
Yeah.
So this guy, everyone had their guns, which I mean, obviously, stood no chance against aliens, but still, like, try to be protected.
Yeah. So super cool, and then the ship blowing up, and you just seeing them like die and on fire. Sees the pilot on fire or whatever. So that was pretty screwed up. But and then like they all get attacked at night and all that stuff. So it was there's some cool scenes in there. Any favorite ones?
Another dumb man. This movie was just real dumb. I'm
sorry.
All
right, call him out.
That fight between David and Walter.
Yeah.
I want to know how David had enough time to kill Walter, to change into his uniform, to chop off his hand, to run back to their ship, all before the alien.
Oh, that's true. I don't know. The plot demanded it. I guess.
So much had to happen, and he still beat the alien. That makes no sense. Like,
and the
motherboard didn't detect it, and wasn't he supposed to be like an older model? Like that was my thing.
Like,
he was an older model, but he was more intelligent because he had the free will that Walter didn't have. That was the whole point about it. Like
he freaked people out because he was too like human, so that's why they
changed
the Walter
newer models, and eventually you
Mm-hmm.
get like the androids of the current movies or whatever. So, or old movies. Yeah. And also out of character, like toward the end there, like Walter would have helped her with the alien. And I was like, I mean, obviously, yeah, you saw it. Did you see it? Like, oh, that's David, obviously.
Yeah, from the moment that they had that shot of him looking like that, I'm like, why did you use that shot? That was extremely obvious.
Yeah. And then like, again, the healing, he wouldn't need to staple his face. I mean, he'd just heal. And they showed us that as the audience, but it was like very like, obviously that's Walter. I mean, that's David. And Walter would have helped her. Like he cared for her. So he would have helped her like fight this alien. This guy was just there with the guy, like holding him.
Like putting a Band-Aid.
A Band-Aid that he was going to kill later, this dude. But yeah, just cool scenes in there.
Oh, also, when did he have time to swallow those things?
Oh, the little eggs.
And still, he beat the alien.
He's that cool.
Do they not have like people proofreading these scripts and be like, this is super unrealistic?
So
go back and edit it.
We need to edit. We need a fifth round of edits.
The one thing I thought that I like the action scenes leading up when all the little alien things came out. I even like the slow scenes, right? But one thing that I didn't like that was uncharacteristic, I think, and I don't remember how Shaw was. But this character, Daniels, she was like super brave. Like she was unrealistically brave. Like she wasn't freaking out that there's this alien creature.
Yeah.
Aliens exist in this world. Creatures like this exist, and you're not freaking out. She's just like, oh yeah, I gotta go take care of it, and she goes outside and builds a crane.
I noticed. Yeah,
I was like, she's not even Ripley was that brave. You know, there's things in the movie where Ripley's like right here, and there's like an alien like right here by her
she
face.
She was panting,
panting and sweating, and
no, I noticed that also. The scene when they realized that the alien was under it, and she just got a gun. She's like, I gotta get this.
I'm gonna use crane
curse word. And so she just got out. I'm like, friend, no, you wouldn't do it like that. You'd say like, oh, come and help, guys. We need to get this alien off.
We got to do this, or we have to get him off of here.
Nope. She's like, I got this. Bad word, and then just.
That's right after her husband died too. Like she just totally held it together too. Like.
Well, no, it was. The whole movie. It was 2 hours of movie.
Yeah, no, just with that she was not scared of the aliens. And even on the ship when she's fighting it, I just thought, and like you have, and I mentioned earlier, the scene of Bill Paxton, game over, man, game over. This is a freaking Marine scared that they're not going to survive. Yeah. They're going to die, and he knows this. And these are all trained Marines in the movie Aliens, and they're acting like humans because they're afraid, of these creatures. And she was not afraid. So I think that could have been done a little bit better. I mean, directing and writing.
I also don't like her as an actress. Like,
what do you have against
her? Fantastic Beasts, that was just
I didn't even know she was in there.
She's just like tasteless to me. Like, I feel like she doesn't have facial expressions.
She a wet blanket? Would you say?
Like the whole movie, she had the same facial expression. I
didn't notice that.
Like, I felt like, man, this girl doesn't show any emotion.
It could have been the direction, though, too, and the writing.
I don't know. And she was the same in Fantastic Beasts. Like, she just didn't show emotion. So, to me, she was, like, my least favorite character. I even have her here, like, main
Daniels
actress.
is
because it's like, dude, like, you should be scared. You should be devastated. Your husband died. And now, like, your captain dies, so what are you going to do? And she just, stands up and hollers, and she just gets it done. Come on, just a little bit of fear, a little bit of hesitation. Make it real.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's what I think, too. I know on the way to lunch today, I was talking to Melinda about one scene that I didn't notice it until, I think, yesterday, where they show, like, the whole ship coming down from Prometheus, and it shows David walking. I thought that was a flashback. Well, it was a flashback, but I thought it was something that they have done to other civilizations. But it was David pulling the spores, that poison, to kill the engineers. That's why they were all like black and dark on the floor, because he came back to the planet. At the end of Prometheus, he said they were going to go ask him. We're going to find out why they were going to kill Earth. So they went back there, and he released that on them. And so I hadn't realized that until yesterday. So I was like, oh, wow, he actually did that. Yeah. Killed this whole race of engineers or whatever. And they're just like a regular culture.
And how I don't know if this is like another plot hole, but how did they not spot that planet? Was it cloaked?
I don't know, because they said we didn't see it until like right now.
Let's go investigate.
Oh, maybe it was because, I mean,
how did they cloak it? How would they cloak it though?
Maybe the engineers, maybe they had some sort of technology, because if their scans didn't see anything until they were like really close or something.
I felt it was kind of like a trap.
Maybe.
Like they were lured.
Well,
into
David
this planet.
did because he used the recording of Shaw and relayed it off. So yes, you're right. He did play it as a trap. For, he's an android. He could have lived for, it was only 10 years. It wasn't even that long. Like, it would have made.
And his hair wasn't even that long for 10 years. Did he get regular haircuts? Did he go to gym spa
get a head
massage place? Like,
if, you can, I guess. I don't know. But like, that would have made sense if I've been there for 100 years, that would have been kind of cool.
I thought it was going to be a lot more. 200
years, 500 years, because you're in space. Like, why 10 years another ship just happens to come by the chance?
You would have found, I know. And when I found out that before I watched the movie that it was going to be a 10-year difference, I got excited because I'm like, heck yeah, Shaw's going to come out, and then she's going to be like the new, what's her face, Ripley, or what? Like, I thought that's what it was going to be. Like, she was going to be the new star of this new trilogy or this new series, and then to find out that they killed her, and they didn't even I don't know, they could have gone in so many different directions with this film, and they just they blew past them.
Yeah, they had a lot of opportunities. I mean, the same thing happened in Alien 3 when they killed off like Newt and freaking what's his name?
I don't remember.
Hudson, which is played by the dude from Terminator Part 1. Anyway, so him that happened as well. It's like, oh man, I wonder where they're gonna go from this. Like they all survived and like Bishop's dead and all them. But anyway, that movie has a lot of problems on its own. But I don't know, ultimately I thought it was like 2 movies in one. They should have focused a little bit more, and I think the aliens were shoehorned in. I did like the scenes with the alien, but it just, again, it was like rushed. It felt rushed at the end. So it could have been something else. But how'd you feel about the ending?
Extremely predictable.
Yeah. You knew it was
super
David.
Predictable.
She's gonna go to cryo, and she's gonna find out that David's. Yeah.
Even the thing, like when he was already walking, when he walked into the also how he had programmed already, or I don't know if it was pre-programmed, like enter David,
like certain codes numbers, or something. Yeah.
Why was it already programmed? Anyways, so when he entered that chamber and it had all the people, the cryo also, why were they just hanging like little caterpillars? Why weren't they laying down?
Like secured
the
or something?
science is so dumb. Yeah. They're not safe. Of course people were going to die. Of course there's going to be casualties if there was like turbulence on the ship. That is ridiculous. Yeah. Just little caterpillars just like that's so dumb. Anyways, when he walked in there, I'm like, oh man, he's going to infect everybody with whatever. Yeah. And then he did. I mean, he like threw up those little
alien face huggers.
The face huggers, yeah. But that was so predictable to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I felt like at the movie, I mean, I knew where it was going. I was like, oh, she's going to go into cryo. She's going to find out immediately that it's not David. It's not Walter, that it's David now, and it's going to end like that. So that was like kind of hurt, like it hurts the character, I guess. But I guess it can go in many possibilities. I mean, they're traveling for 7 more years until they hit that other planet, or if he takes it off course or whatever he does, and experiment more. Wake up a human, do some stuff to them. Nope, didn't work.
Yes,
flush it out.
2,000 people
to experiment on.
Yeah.
So
because when they just met him, they just met this rando dude.
They follow him.
No, not that. Oh. They were giving him all the information, like how many people are with you. 2,000. Oh, that's beautiful. I don't know what he was saying. Why are you giving this stranger all your information? Are you dumb?
Same with that.
Spoilers.
That's where the movie went for me. I really liked everything up until the flare, and he's wearing that cloak. I was like, oh my god, it like made me kind of cringe. Your cringe moment that you have, that made me cringe. I was like, no.
Really? With that scene,
because he came in as this hero. I didn't know it was going to be David, honestly.
I thought it was going to be Shaw, but then I heard him talk.
I thought it was going to be Shaw,
but then I heard him talk. I'm like, oh man, it's David.
I thought it was going to be Shaw. So it was going like that. Flare. Okay, what's this? Why is this? No. Like that, and it went down, and then like, oh, another cringe-worthy scene where he's having the alien dance, the little baby dance out of the chest burster. Like it comes up, it comes out of the chest, and he's just like there, and he does this like Silence of the Lambs thing, and the little alien does this little.
Oh, after he talks about how he can control them if he just breathes. On their nose. Yeah.
So like where he's talking to one face, and then they shoot that one. But then, like the little baby alien, like it's mimicking him, like he's their, father or whatever, right? So I thought that was bad. I don't like that.
Or Lynn. Nope, that's not his name.
You're still trying to think about it.
I can't think of it.
So those were some like cringeworthy moments for me. Do you have any of those? Like, no. Like, when did you realize that it was going to be?
When they were just
the crew,
just nonsense.
Tennessee.
Just oh man, it's just like little things that I'm sure like not even non-fans
just. Is that cool with you?
No. They didn't even
awkward.
tune.
That was super dumb too. That was a weird scene.
So it was showing.
Just to show that like he can think on his own, or he can.
He's not allowed to
because he can't
create. That's
right.
what they were.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's like a different tone, a different movie. This whole AI thing, like if it was just David and no aliens, but it was called David the movie, or whatever.
Covenant : David.
Yeah, Covenant. Not even alien in there, but anyway. So that was you. Any favorite scenes, bad scenes?
I just thought, like, I'm with Melinda. Like, just all the dumb mistakes they did. Like, you know, he steps on the spores. He's taking. Was he peeing? I don't remember.
No, he
that
was smoking.
first scene, he was smoking, and then
smoking.
he squishes things. He sees the powders, and he takes like a big deep breath. Like, are you dumb? Like,
I don't think he saw the powders, did he?
He did.
Well, they're like microscopic.
They were in the sun, and I would have been like, what is this? Like, I would have blown it away or something, not like take a big whiff. And
well, remember, he didn't breathe it in. It went in his ear anyway.
And it was in his face, like, and he didn't even freak out, and just all these things. And he starts feeling sick, and they keep walking. Nobody. I was like,
I felt bad when she's like, "Hurry up, come on!" She didn't even try
wasn't even trying
to like get on me, but maybe she knew she didn't want to get infected.
And the doctor, she sees these people coming sick, and then she takes them in, and like they have to walk through the whole ship before they're in that container.
I don't think she was a doctor. What was she?
She was a pilot.
Yeah, she wasn't the doctor.
She was a pilot. They didn't have a doctor.
It was
he kept saying
she
didn't know what to do.
Yeah, he walked through the whole
But
ship.
still, like, as a pilot, you're trained to undergo emergency
procedures at least. I mean, they were trying to get
She was
failed at it.
She failed. Like, she freaked out and just left them. And she locked. I mean, obviously, you should have not even let them into the ship. But she just locked them in there and just ran away and started crying.
Like, stay there, I'll bring the med kit or something. You know, like.
But that thing that you mentioned, I thought about it during the movie. It really upset me.
What?
So the first group, when they're out, before even he steps on the little
spores,
when they're walking, they find the wheat, which also I want. Why? Oh man, I have so many things. The wheat.
The wheat.
The wheat. Stop, Jim! Don't start! Not in a podcast! Whatever. That plant.
Yes.
Who planted that?
And didn't someone take some bite?
Why did David plant that if he doesn't need to eat?
Experimenting? I don't know.
He doesn't need to eat, though.
Or you know what? It probably is because the engineers, like that planet looked very similar to Earth.
But it was 10 years afterwards that dies.
I don't know. Does it? No, because it's a human thing that you constantly have to.
You have to take care of it, so you know it dies.
Maybe his experimentation.
Okay,
his curious. I don't know.
That wasn't my point. My point was when they find that plant. One of the muscle, as you mentioned, he's the one. He's like, this. I would know this anywhere. But when he grabs it, he's holding a freaking cigar, like a cigar. I'm like, you're in this new planet and you're already trying to pollute it. Are you kidding me? Like what? You're trying to ruin the ozone layer. You are on this planet for 2 seconds and you're already trying to pollute. I didn't understand. And then the second guy starts smoking. I'm like, does no one care about this new planet? My thing was like,
these people are colonizing and they made cigars and they brought those along with them. Like, damn, dude. Like, these people really thought ahead. You're mad at the contamination and I'm over here like, man, they really packed everything up. Like,
well, they were going to move their life.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like they were just uprooting and they're colonizing. They're going to be pioneers in this new planet. Yeah. And so, like, it's understandable that they were going to do that. Bit of home. They wanted a little bit of home. But to take cigars to a new planet and ruin the environment. Yeah. Also, there's just so many dumb things in this movie. When after James Franco's, I don't know his name. Everyone's just calling him James Franco. Yeah. When James Franco dies and she's crying and she's going through his stuff and she finds this tornillo and she finds a random string. Mm-hmm. She has a perfect necklace. Girl, why do you have a tornillo in your suitcase, first of all? And why do you have a perfect necklace-sized string?
Yeah.
For the plot. Didn't she use it later, though?
Yeah.
What did she use it for?
Oh, to stab David. Did nothing.
Yeah.
So that was the reason for it. I guess.
A tornillo.
The whole purpose was because her and her husband were gonna build a cabinet.
A cabinet.
A cabinet.
That's the one.
Their cabinet. And then she just puts it around her neck.
But it was just a solo tornillo. It wasn't even like a good silver clean one to create their cabin. It was like a rusted, old, gross one.
I mean,
Why
I
is that in
guess
your
It looked like a
suitcase?
Jesus
Why is that
nail.
why is that in your
it did.
suitcase?
It looked like a railroad nail, like a mini one. Yeah, maybe it was something like symbolic to her. I mean, they didn't even explain it, but it could have been from their own home on Earth or something that
Like,
they
man,
wanted
I
to
wish
take
I
that.
could make a necklace that pretty. She just.
I was like, that's pretty good. I think it'd take me a couple of times to
Just
make sure that thing.
it's
I would have
on-
lost. I was
it's-
like,
and
Yeah.
I would have had it on. It's like, oh man, it fell off.
You're just like uneven. Like, oh man, I
Yeah.
need to do it again. But man, this movie, there were too many plot holes.
Too
There
many
were too
plot
many just dumb little things that could just they could have been fixed.
Stop it.
Another thing, digital blood. I didn't really like it.
Oh,
I
this
can see it too much. The CG blood. I think it's overdone in some films, and I like practical effects.
the squirt.
Yeah, those could have been practical, like real blood. But I mean, a lot of movies do it. But I thought you could tell a little bit more.
What do you
in
think
this
of the aliens?
They were there.
What do you
I
think? No,
think-
like looks wise.
But they look pretty good.
They were pretty, like, unique. Very detailed. Like, especially the one that in the field where the weed is.
The albino one.
Yeah, and they just disappear, and then they're really fast and everything. It was super
And then, like a little while later,
Very
it's a
good.
bigger one.
Yeah,
Like,
they
grow
grew
so
real
fast.
Real
It was
fast.
really good special effects when it comes to the aliens.
Yeah, the aliens look really good. I thought. I like the different designs of the little baby alien, the
Mhm.
bigger juvenile one.
Mhm.
I mean, we didn't talk about that. We talked about the egg, the face hugger. I know you mentioned
Face.
something that you wanted to see more face huggers.
We only saw there's like one face hugger
Well, we saw
Really?
two. One that actually succeeded, and then
Right.
the other one
that was on the
got
wall.
got on
Oh.
his face. Yeah,
Oh.
got on his face, and like the guy cut it off,
Mhm.
and like the acid bled
Mhm.
through.
So these
So-
face huggers,
Mhm.
like huggers,
hmm
Mhm.
how the heck do you? Is that their official name, or did you guys make up
That-
that?
that's what they're known
wait,
as.
Jim and I came up with that.
Face
Yeah.
huggers. Like, that sounds like a pretty cool alien name.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
that-
that's what they're called.
They
That's
just
what
suck
they
your
call them.
face?
No. So what they do is gonna get a little bit. No, whatever. That's what they do. So you have your little egg. You're like, what the hell is in there? It opens up. You see something moving, jumps on your face. There's a little pipe. It literally impregnates you. So through your mouth, it goes down into your stomach, pretty much, or it gets stuck here in your chest. I mean, inside your, what is that thing called?
Esophagus.
Your esophagus. So it gets there, and then pretty much grows, and then
And an alien comes
Burst.
out of you.
it bursts. So that's the life cycle
Mm-hmm.
of aliens that we know it. So that lays an egg. Those eggs have the face huggers. They need a host, a human, and it takes on the characteristics of what the host is. So, for example, Alien 3, it's a dog. So it's like low to the ground, uses four hands.
Mhm.
These are more humanoid, standing up, because they came from a human. So it takes some of those traits of what the host is.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it could change. Like I think even in Alien versus Predator gets like a
Oh,
predator.
man, that movie. I want to
and
do like
comes
just a
out.
solo
We should.
podcast
We
on that
should.
movie.
We should. That's a good one. That's something. That's another topic. But it takes on the host, so that's how it works.
Interesting. Face
I know the
huggers.
biology of the
Of aliens.
xenomorphs. Yeah.
Xenomorphs.
So yeah, that's the scientific. Yeah, they call them in Aliens or like another bug hunt. You know,
Mhm.
they hadn't seen them or whatever. Ridley Scott directed the first Alien. James Cameron directed the second Alien. David Fincher directed the third Alien. So look up these names. They're very good
They're good.
directors, right? So Ridley Scott did a lot of cool. He did Blade Runner. I know you didn't really like Blade Runner, but Alien was great. He did Prometheus. People really didn't like the majority of people didn't really like Prometheus.
Mhm.
So you're thinking, okay, I think he was trying to redeem himself with this one, and was trying to like marry the two. Like I want to do my vision, but I guess I got to put these aliens in there to make this movie happen. So I think he's a good director, but I mean, you lose it sometimes. I don't know. What do you think? The directing,
There was just there were a lot
the
of
writing,
shots.
and who wrote it? I don't know if he wrote it
No,
either.
Like first person, like I don't know, like a kid out of college. I don't know. They just,
Damon.
and the intern and
Me when I was in high school.
I know.
I wanted to have all these things happen, you know. It felt like that. Like you wanted the creationism, you wanted the Frankenstein theme, you wanted like
There was a lot of stuff.
the religion.
Too many themes.
Yeah, it was too many themes
Like
clashing with each other. and
Batman
then
v Superman.
too much.
That was perfect. You mean perfection? What?
Uh-huh.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. That movie had a bunch of problems, but
Martha.
Leave her alone.
Why you say
Why did you say her name? Why did you say that
so
name?
dumb.
It's so cool. You mean?
No. Yeah, I expected more from him.
Yes. So Ridley Scott, good director, but I mean they miss sometimes. I don't know. We'll see.
Or is this one of those movies where the marketing is like on point,
Possibly.
but then you get to the product and it's like
The expectations.
That's
Actually,
a huge thing
I
in
think-
advertising.
I think my expectations are always low. I think I go into movies like Guardians. I thought that was going to be like, and then like I was like, oh no, I really enjoyed this movie. So I don't know.
You already know. I go to with every movie expecting
The
10 out of
best,
10
really?
donuts.
Oh, because of what they spent on your justification for it, right?
You're spending $1 kajillion on
How much would you say?
a kajillion,
Okay.
maybe, depending on the movie. Like Avengers is 2 kajillion.
Yeah,
Anyways, so you're spending all this money on a movie, and then for it to be bad, like I don't understand. Like so many people, you see the credits, and there are a kajillion people. How do all those people not realize like, we need to fix some things here? That's real dumb.
Eventually you have a date. You have to send the movie out, so they have to
but
finish
when
it
you're
at a certain
writing the
point.
script, how many
I don't
eyes does
know.
it have to go through?
I don't know. I don't know if it's like a Ridley Scott thing where it's like, I'm Ridley Scott and this is how it goes. This
That
is
doesn't
my
matter.
movie.
Even Joss
Have you
Whedon has to
watched
get his.
Entourage?
Yeah, but Joss Whedon
How
is a
about
big
that?
name, but maybe not enough for Disney execs, or something like that. What'd you think ultimately? Would you recommend this movie? How many jelly donuts? Claudia, we'll start with you.
You guys have to predict how many jelly donuts I'm giving it.
It was too long for you, probably, I would say 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10?
I say 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got it right. It was kind of long. It dragged a little bit for me.
Always,
Then
every
again,
movie.
That's
time.
every movie. We don't.
It just dragged.
Uh-huh.
And I gave it 7 out of 10.
Really? 7 out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Pablo gave it an 8 because he thought that
He really
James
liked it.
Franco's cameo was dumb. That's the only reason why.
But he
But
liked
he
it
liked
that
the movie
much?
overall.
He liked
Is his
it.
scale reversed?
Yeah,
Eight.
he
8
liked
out of
it.
10. That's not even Jim with Rogue One.
I know.
He
really
liked it. James Franco's cameo annoyed him, and the David versus his brother
Walter.
was weird.
It was real weird.
But he gave it an 8 because of the special effects.
So he enjoyed the movie.
hmm
Okay.
Except it got long for him too. Like we were like
That's just
shifting
obvious though.
and moving.
You guys
Oh, that was
have
Milena.
to
She
get-
I think she fell asleep because you know how it's like the reclined
Yeah,
ones in the
it's so
XD theater.
comfy.
She
I'm gonna take my
she
pillow
put it
next
all
time.
up, and then I didn't see her because she was like she laid down on it like this,
Oh my
and so
gosh.
I don't know if she fell asleep, but she
Did you
didn't.
talk to her about it at all?
No,
What her opinions were? Nothing?
no,
Okay.
because I know that she was gonna be mad at me because she didn't want to watch this movie, and I
Aw.
But
forced
that's
her.
every movie, no?
That's true. But I
Yeah.
forced her to go to this one because I convinced her. I'm like, it's gonna be so good. It's aliens, and she's like, okay, I guess we can go. I'm like, yes. Then afterwards, I just looked at her. I'm like, oh man, she's gonna hate me.
You should talk to her, but I'm curious to see what she thought.
But you watched the regular, right? And it was still good.
XD.
What do you mean, like,
There was
XD?
there was no 3D option on this one because I probably would have seen it in 3D.
There would have been nothing to watch in 3D because the aliens have like 3
Again,
cameos.
it's the depth. It's not
Wouldn't
about
you?
whoa.
It's about the aliens eating your
Just
No,
like
you
one-
don't want that.
and the face kissers like just
The face kissers.
just like jumping and
I don't
making you
want
pregnant.
that. No, making you
you
pregnant.
feeling it.
No.
3D.
3D, I guess. How about you, Melinda? What's your
How
score?
about you, Jim?
You want me to give my score?
Yes,
All
but
right.
no, let's guess yours too.
Okay, what's mine?
What do
She
you
already
give
read
him?
mine. Why are you having yours?
Yeah, we already did yours.
You're Jim.
Mm-hmm.
6 out of 10.
7.
6 out of 10. Jelly donuts. Yeah, 6 out of 10. Yeah, the safe one would have been 7. No, but I came out of there like I said, it fell at that point. I was like, no, because I really like the way it started. If I wanted the fear, I wanted them to be afraid and discovering, and we're discovering with them. And it went really cool when they're being attacked by all those juvenile aliens, and it's like, how are they going to get out of this, and then this dumb thing happens. And then oh wow, there's a village right there,
They didn't
or this
spot.
huge village.
Just like a planet.
Yeah, they didn't even see it from coming in, you would have seen that whole civilization thing anyway, and structures. I'd be curious. That's the first thing I said. I would say there's freaking structures over there. We need to. But again, they were looking for the signal. But that's what I thought. How about you?
I'd give it a 5.
Yeah.
There were too many little things about this movie that bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving it that many points even just because of the few aliens. I think like each point of the 5 is like for every alien that I saw in this movie. Everything else just was so dumb to me. The whole marriage thing, the pods floating, the mother just being incompetent and just not helping her crew. Like, there's just so many little things that just did not add up to me. If it was going to be like this science exploration, I would assume that they'd be smart people, but it was a bunch of dum-dums. Yeah. So 5.
5 out of 10. Yeah.
Sounds like a fair 5.
Yep. And I thought, so I probably, I got to go see Prometheus again. I know you saw it again. I want to go back, check out Prometheus. I liked it the first time, so I'll probably like it again. But yeah, so those were our scores. Anything else you want to add?
As far as recommendations, wait for it to hit the dollar movies. Don't pay full price.
Wait for it to be on streaming services for free.
A certain app.
No, I don't know. But I mean, beautiful movie, but that only gets it so far, I think.
Yeah. Because even like the soundtrack in this one, the score was nothing compared to Prometheus. That score was beautiful. It was so good. With all the landscapes, with like even with the aliens, just every note that came out of that movie was just so good. It was such a good overall score. And in this one, I felt nothing for the score.
Forgettable,
I'm like,
probably.
I mean, I guess I'll listen to it, whatever. But it was nothing compared to Prometheus, this one.
Yeah. So that wraps up our review. Unless you got anything else to add. All right. Thank you for joining us. My name's Jim.
Claudia.
Melinda.
And have a good night. Bye.
Or day. I was sad that there weren't like a lot of what are they called? Like the face huggers. What are they called?
Face huggers. Yeah.
There's like 2.
You wanted more face huggers?
Yeah.
The heck's a face
the
hugger?
Thing that
the
got
things
them
like that.
Okay, we'll talk about it right now.
Those annoying little like booger looking aliens.
No.
Nope. What's
They
a
look like a
booger
hen.
looking alien?
When I
Like
do
the
this
ones
to
that
my
are like-
kids, and I go, I do that all the time. That's a face
They
hugger.
look like boogers. Like, they're all white and
Yeah,
slimy.
so I do that to my
Mexican childhood, and my dad did that to us. It was a cucuy.
It's a
cucuy.
Mine is like a face
no,
hugger.
la mano
And I do
pachona.
it
La
to
mano
my-
pachona.
See, mine's a face hugger. So like here, and then it jumps on your face.
No, that's the mano pachona.
No, it's the face hugger. And then also, because I do this thing there, it's coming from the sky, and then I go, and then I do that, so you got scared.
Stop it.
And I get their face.
Because your fingers are so webby, and I was just looking at that. And I was just waiting for those web hands to just
To like engulf
hand.
your face. And you couldn't breathe with all the web. One more sentence. Okay, we're ready to go.
I'm memorizing your script, Jim. I literally have nothing. I have nothing. I have no notes.
So remember last time my unfinished idea, like all of them? Never mind. Okay.
Oh, okay. Stupid
Okay.
Jim. Remember when you yelled at me?
No. When?
When I clapped.
Oh, yeah. Because you were trying to, mess up the sync. Yep.
Nothing was getting synced, though. We only had one camera. What were you syncing?
The audio to the camera. No, not true. Okay.
She's like yelling at me.
No, I don't.
Whatever.
I love it.
But yeah, we don't watch movies after 6. Scary movies, we don't watch them after dark.
Why?
Because you'll have nightmares.
Oh my God, baby Pablo.
No, his PTSD kicks in, so we have to watch scary movies in the daylight. It's hilarious.
You have to put him to sleep.
Over here. I am Groot.
Jim, you look the same in literally all of them.
You just
The only one that you look different in is our Rogue One, because you had just gotten a haircut the day before.
Really?
But you look the same in every single one of them.
All you have to do is relick your gel, and it looks
Relick
refreshed.
it. Why don't you just
Marmalade or
water
whatever you put in your
marmalade?
in your
Am I
hair.
Paddington
Or
Bear?
What is
Marmalade.
it? Pomade.
Pomade.
Marmalade.
I only use marmalade.
What flavor?
Orange.
Orange
Yes.
marmalade.
Yes. I don't know.
That's
Paddington.
gross, Jay.